Promises, vows, commitments, things that we say to somebody else or we say to ourselves without realizing that what we're actually doing or saying. So what kind of vows can you make in this life? If you're a priest, maybe vows of celibacy, right? Some might be the vow of silence, not to acquire material things, not to guide your life based on that. If you're in love with somebody, when you say to that person, I will love you forever, or I will never be able to live without you, what are we really saying? What are we really doing? So in the next few minutes, I would like to explain how vows, commitments, and promises works from this time-bound point of the reincarnation. I'll explain more after this intro. Hey, welcome back. So my name is Antonio Sangio. For those of you that do not know me, I teach and practice introspective hypnosis. And the concept I wanted to share with you, or maybe not a concept, but maybe I want to bring some awareness. It's the meaning of vows, promises, commitments that we make in our lives, right? In order to understand that, in order to explain that, let's start again by saying, and I have said this many times, if you watch my video about soul entrapment, I will put a wild card right here, up here, and I'll try to put the video number in the description of this video. Let's understand the concept of time, right? For the soul, time does not exist. Actually, time, linear time, past, present, and future, is a creation of the human brain in order to understand time. But the truth is that everything is happening now. Your soul doesn't understand about time. If you said a promise 3,000 years ago, for you soul, that was just said. Antonio, how is that possible? Well, let's think about it this way. Even though we talk about past lives, and you might have seen my videos, and past life regression, and past life this, and past life that, the way your soul sees this is one life. Your spirit has one life only. The spirit never dies, but has experiences in different bodies, in many bodies, right? So again, for your soul, life is just one, with experiences in different bodies. That might be the explanation why we bring fears, phobia, sadness from other lives, if you want to call them past life, but they're actually happening now in a different timeline, and they affect us now. They affect us all day, every day, right? So the same thing applies to vows and promises. When you say to somebody, I will love you forever, what are you really saying? That's your soul saying it. And maybe in a previous life you were, I don't know, a man, and in this life you're a woman. The soul is the same, the body just changed. Or let's say that maybe in a past life you were a priest, and on this one you're not. How is that vow you made when you were a priest going to affect the body that you have now? I had clients in my session that had this kind of issue. I'll share I'm not mentioning any names, obviously, but one client had a past life as a priest, right? In this life, what's happening to that person who in this life is a woman? She was not able to have a loving relationship the way maybe she wanted, or there was always some issues in between, right? Maybe when she was trying to acquire material things or have her business running, let's put it that way, maybe she was sabotaging herself. So when we look for the origin of that, which is I would consider to be a symptom, this person went back to the life of that priest. And we went back to the time that priest made those vows. Help my client understand that those vows belong to that body and not to this one, right? In another session, I had another client whose issue was a relationship. It was a female client, it's a beautiful woman, that could not keep a relationship with a man for a long time. Something always happened and the relationship would finish, right? On her part, she was the one ending the relationship. So again, that was a symptom. When I say that she went back in time, even though time does not exist, she went back to a life where she was in love with a man. And this man had to leave her for XYZ reasons. I think it was for going to war. And the promise was, I will never forget you. So guess what happened? For her soul, that just took place. The soul doesn't understand time. The soul was still waiting for that other man. And even though she had a relationship with, she had a relationship with other men in this life, right? Boyfriend or husband or partner, whatever you want to name it. She was sabotaging herself because for her soul, she was still waiting for the love of her life. Because time doesn't understand, soul doesn't understand time. For the soul is just one life. And even though she might have said that 100 years ago, the soul just said it. For the soul, it just took place. So you might say, okay, Antonio, how is that useful for me, right? You're getting that in hypnosis sessions. You're getting that when people go into a trance. Yes and no. You don't need trance in order to go to the origin of a symptom, right? If you are experiencing the symptom now, you don't need to travel in time and space. You don't need to go anywhere. You need to make conscious what is unconscious to you now, because again, even though you want to say it's coming from a past life, the truth is that whatever it is affecting you now. That means that you have it with you now. That means that the past is with you now, which means that the past does not exist, right? So if you're not having a session or you're not getting a session with me or any other colleague, then try to determine what the symptom is. What's the pattern that presents in your life? If it's about relationships, if it's about money, if it's about, I don't know, example, public speaking, right? If you were a priest in a past life and you made a vow of silence, try to stand in front of people and speak about something, it's going to be difficult for your soul, right? So try to determine the pattern. Put yourself in a meditative state and just imagine that if you say this to yourself, speak to your soul, saying, if I ever made a vow about this, now I decide to break it. Understanding that this is a different body, this is a different reality, and in this life I have different goals, I have different lessons to learn. Try it, see what happens, or at least think about all the times that something happened to you over and over and over, like a pattern. Even though it happened through different people, through different situations, the situation was the same. Where is that coming from? So, what do we need to get from this? Be careful when you promise. Be careful when you make vows. Because if you promise, at least put a limit. I promise that for this life, or for this body, right, I'm going to do this, and that. But if you just have an open promise, I promise I will never forget you. I promise I will always be waiting for you. I promise I will not be able to live without you. You're not putting any limits. That promise is going to be carried body after body after body, and it's going to cause problems in future reincarnations. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share about you. My idea is to bring awareness of the different things that might affect us in our lives from the standpoint of the reincarnation, right? And don't take life so seriously. If you do not resonate with what I'm saying, forget about this video. Nothing is going to happen. But maybe for you that have been looking for answers, trying to understand what's been going on in your life, trying to make sense of the different situations you have been experiencing, maybe this is the answer. I'm not saying I am the answer. I am not saying that having a session with me is the answer. I'm not saying that introspective hypnosis is the answer. There are many modalities there. There are many colleagues and a lot of people that practice this type of hypnosis that can help you. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.